It's the weekend and you have financial questions that need answering. That can only mean one thing. It's time for Jill on Money, the show that takes the mystery out of your finances. Here's your host, Jill Schlesinger.
Welcome to the Jill on Money Show. Let's get started quickly. It's Jason from upstate New York. That's what I'm going to call it, Jason. That's probably not exactly upstate, but I'm going to call it that because I know where you are, but I do not want to expose you too much. Welcome to the program. What can we do for you?
Hi. Well, thank you first to both Jill and Mark, for including me. I'm grateful to have your wisdom and participate on the show. I have lived in the Hudson Valley and New York City for over a decade in the Hudson Valley and like 25 years in the city. And I recently sold my home in Woodstock, New York. And so what I'm looking at now is I'm going to end up with a lot of cash. I fixed this home up and sold it, became move-in ready, and found that there was a market for a move-in ready home. And when it's all said and done, I'm upwards of $900,000.
Whoa, wait. 900 net to you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I bought the least nice home on the nicest street. And,
Wow.
and then,
Okay.
So
That's incredible. So that's going to come when?
It's magic. Probably February, March at the latest.
Okay.
And that's after, so that's, paying off the mortgage and the second mortgage. And so my first plan is to pay off credit cards and my car
Okay,
loan.
so how much debt do you have that's outstanding? Other like that kind of stuff, consumer debt, credit cards, and car loan, or anything else, personal loan, anything like that would be
about 125.
Okay, and that all accumulated because while you were fixing.
Or actually, I should take that back. I'm including some things that don't really count. It's under 100. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so let's call it 100. And then anything else that you need to earmark from the 900 besides the 100 of debt payoff?
No, I've already earmarked the other stuff like, solar panel loan and all that kind of stuff. So I suspect about 8 is what I'm going to have to buy a new house with. And my first very excitable moment was to buy a house and flip it, fix it up and flip it. And then I realized that since I don't have a place to live currently, that's the wrong order.
Do you think? I mean, really?
Yeah, right.
Right.
Because I sold my home and I'm renting. And
what's the rent? What's the rent? Wait, maybe this isn't the worst idea.
My rent currently is $2,000 a month.
That's it?
Yeah, it's I have a great deal and it's it's fine, but I really want to have my forever home.
Okay.
I like to landscape and garden, and I really need to. I'm creative, and I like to be able to make a house a home.
Okay.
But I'm also willing to postpone that for a little while.
Okay.
And so
How much would it cost you to buy that dreamy forever home in the area? Like, will 800 do it, or would you need to pay more?
I could do it for less than that, actually.
How come?
Because my plan, I'm working with a developer on buying land and building a home. And from my experience buying a home and renovating it, I know, first of all, I'm not intimidated by renovation or building because I grew up in that environment. And I have discovered that buying land and building a home is equal to just buying a home in this
right. And because the rest of us are all lazy. We do want move-in homes because it's scary and intimidating to have to go through permitting and do the whole thing and all those choices.
Yes. And a big fat thank you to those of you who are, because that's what created the bidding war on my house.
You're absolutely welcome. So how long will it take you to develop and build what you think you would want? You'll need to rent for a while longer. How long will this all take?
It's a wonderful question, and it's going to be a wonderful 9-month journey. Okay. Maybe a year even. Okay. And I'm comfortable with that, renting while doing that.
Yeah. I mean, you have pretty cheap rent. What else do we need to know about you, Jason?
Well, it's important to know that I've started a new career in real estate and interior design. I'm working with several clients on gut renovating their homes.
Oh, God.
And this career presented itself when I sold my house. I realized that everything that was happening around selling the house was what I wanted to do for a living. And it's what I enjoy the most, is everything around homes and then sharing my experience in the Hudson Valley, Catskill area with people. So I got a real estate license during that process. And so I'm working in realtor and designer. And so that does present an interesting, financial development because I no longer work with the structure of a regular corporate income. And
you're okay with that right now?
Right now, I'm very okay with it.
You're like, why'd I wait so long?
Yeah, well, I think I waited so long because it's also important to know that I turned 60 this year. And so the younger me wouldn't have been responsible enough, I think, to handle that kind of non-structured.
Yeah, it's hard, by the way. A lot of people who will say this to me, they'll be like, oh, I'm going to start my own business or I'm going to be a consultant. I said, you have to go through periods that are kind of a little bit dormant, and it kind of messes with your head a little bit. It's forgetting about the money part of it. So I think when you're 60, you have a little, firstly, hopefully you have not just this $900,000 influx, but other assets. So let's take a step back, Jason. So you're 60. And the premise of your call to us is what exactly? What are we solving for?
The premise of the call mainly is two things. One, first, I want to mention that I was going to take about $60,000 out of this and pay myself a salary for this year while I earn for this year for next year. So this is a plan that I made up, I thought.
Meaning 60 grand out of my 900 is just like to live on.
To live on, and then what I earn this year will be put into savings to live on next year.
Okay. All right.
So my goal would be to match it, basically. Because I also have been used to living with less while after I got laid off and realized I don't need as much. And then that led me to think that, as a premise of this call, is it wise for me to put the money that I make off of this house into just owning a house clean and clear?
Okay, I got it. All right.
Or by the way, or carrying a small mortgage, which when rates go down, I would be willing to take out, $250 mortgage, to invest or something like that.
Okay. So Jason, you're 60. Are you married, single, partnered?
I'm married, and my husband owns a home, a townhouse in Brooklyn. So we have that space too. He works in the city and I work in the Hudson Valley.
Do you keep your finances together or separate? No judgment here.
I know. No, I'm one of the, Jill advised we do not commingle our finances.
Okay, fine.
We basically each own a home and run our homes separately.
That's fine. That's great. Again, as I said, no judgment. Okay, so you're 60. Tell us about the money that you accumulated in your prior life when you were working. I'm sure you have a retirement plan. So give us a little bit of the rundown of your assets.
Yeah, I do. I have an IRA. There's about $240,000 in the IRA. I had more, but I took some of it out to finish the renovation during the pandemic because things got so expensive. So I did also want to replenish some of that. So I did talk to my financial advisor about taking at least $100,000 and giving that to him for investing. And I also, for retirement, I don't know that this is wise to plan on, but I know a dependable inheritance that I'll be getting also from my mother.
What do you think about? Don't go crazy. So give me the more conservative inheritance number.
About $650.
Okay, got it. We'll get back to Jason in a minute. You're listening to the Jill on Money Show.
Back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger helps you take the mystery out of your finances.
Welcome back to Jill on Money, where we take the mystery out of your financial life. Let's keep talking to Jason from New York. Do you have any Roth assets?
No, I didn't. I had to move those. I wasn't qualified for that.
Okay.
Yet.
So $240 in an IRA. And do you have a brokerage account as well? Just a plain like non-retirement investment account? Because you mentioned a financial advisor. So I was just wondering.
No, he and I are going to talk about that when I get this,
your windfall.
My windfall, as it were.
What do you think it takes you to live every month? Like, I know that you have separate dwellings, you have your rent, but what do you suspect is your monthly spend? Is it $5,000 a month, and that's where we came up with the 60,000?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
and that's generous because I won't have a car payment. So here's an interesting thing. The amount of rent is the amount that I would run a household if my house was paid for,
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, got
making
you.
sure that I
Yeah,
had
yeah.
money every month to run the house with
But
utilities.
you wouldn't have your 800 grand. You wouldn't have the ability to hang on to it. So
Correct.
for right now, the assets you have are this 900, which we're going to whittle down to 800, right?
Mhm.
There's going to be 800,000 to buy a home, to invest, to do something. There's 240 in an IRA. There's a future inheritance of about 650. And right now, what are you earning in your new career approximately?
It's very early.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as in 4 months.
Oh, that is early. Okay.
So currently it's, around like $3,500 a month.
Oh, that's good. In 4 months? That's amazing.
Yeah, well, I purposely planned to have something in addition to being a realtor, which is
Mm,
the design business. And so I have a couple of clients, and I get paid every month for this work that I'm doing, and I want to
wow.
keep that
Mm,
balance because I think it solves two things. One, it keeps my creative juices flowing,
hmm
and it creates a steady income, and while being a realtor.
Do you have just any money that's sitting in cash right now? A bank account, a CD, a savings account, anything like that?
No.
Okay. So let's just kind of go back in time for a second. So now I got your general, I got a feel for what's going on. So of the 900, we know it's going to be really 800 because you're going to you're going to pay off the debt. That'll be done. So now we
Yeah.
have 800. Of the 800, we want to make sure that you have money to live on. So you're
Mhm.
going to take 60, maybe, I don't know, maybe I think I want you to put 100 away, but just cuz. But I'm going to make it round
I do too.
numbers.
I
Okay.
think 100
Okay.
is a good idea.
So I think I'm going to say 100 there. So now we have 700 grand left.
Hmm.
So the question I have for you is, on one hand, I want to say that, oh my God, we shouldn't do anything with that money. We should, invest it, keep it liquid. You're still very young. We want the money working for you. But I hear what you're saying in that you have a knack and the ability to find a house, develop a house. Like, it sounds to me like you do know what you're doing and you've already been through it.
Hmm.
So if I looked at that 700, what portion of that 700 would you need to buy the land, develop the land? Like, what do you need to really make sure you get this project done over the course of the next year?
I would, well, it'll depend on the price of the land. I think the house is going to run between 6 and 7.
Okay.
I'm doing a pro forma with
Yep.
the builder right now,
Okay.
actually. So the builder and developer, and that is the price range we're going to hit. So
Okay.
that's good. Ideally, what I would do is I buy land. Let's say I buy land for 150, 200,
Okay.
200,
Okay.
and then pay cash. Then I would take a small mortgage out, say for 200 later at the end,
Yeah.
an end mortgage to
Okay.
avoid a construction loan.
Yeah.
And also, I'm not qualified for a mortgage right now because I don't
Right.
have
Because you don't have enough income
that,
anyway.
that fancy corporate job with so.
Should we make your husband co-sign or not?
No, I don't.
No.
No, I don't want to do that. I think you can get cash out at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you've already
Which
put the
is
money in.
direction. That's the direction I would.
So
I
so
would
what? So we buy the land for 200. Now we have a 500,000 left, and what you're saying is you're going to use that 500 over time. You'll end up getting some at some point. But that 500 will be gone in the process. Yes or no?
It would be gone in the process. Yeah.
Okay. And then you might get a mortgage where you could, pull out a couple hundred grand. You will have improved it. It will be, blah, blah, blah. So you'll have,
Mhm.
you'll spend the 500, but then eventually you have another 200 of, probably mortgage proceeds. Okay.
Yeah, thinking at the end, I'd have 200 because also when you buy land and then you improve it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get
it's
you. Okay. So we would have your 100 in your emergency fund. You've got your inheritance to come. You've got your IRA, and then you've got the mortgage proceeds. So my question to you is, this is obviously incredibly risky. Can I just make assumptions? If something bad happened, would your husband be able to help you out?
Yeah, what I would do is what I did. What I would do is I would just move it to our place in Brooklyn and just
Right.
live
You'd
there.
sell this. You'd
Yeah.
be done.
And I could sell it. I could rent it.
Yeah. Okay. Mark, how are you feeling about our game plan for Jason? Are you worried?
No, I'm not worried. Jill, you and I like things very simple, and we don't like a lot of moving parts. But Jason sounds like this is what he does. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's getting into. He's already done it before. So, that helps. And knowing that, I hope your mother lives a long, long time, but knowing that that inheritance is coming, that also helps.
Yes. And,
I just
and you're
help her.
working and you're probably going to ramp up. My guess, here's my goal for you, that if you do this, that by the time the house is sort of done, I'm hopeful that basically you're earning what you need to live on, right? You're earning, let's call it $100,000 a year, and then you're living on the 60, right? Because you need to earn 100, pay taxes, and then, live on
Pay taxes and do that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think it works. I think if you're doing something really risky like this, Jason, then we must have, your bailout plan. And you have it. You have it in the back of your head. You have it activated. Is your husband on board with this whole thing?
He is. Yeah.
That does not sound like a resounding yes, absolutely.
My husband thinks that I should wait till after the midterms to do anything. And I said, I don't really think that has anything to do with
why does he think because if the midterms don't go a certain way, you're going to move to Canada?
Yeah, I mean, it is
where
a bit
are we
of
going?
It is a bit of a doom. Well, I'm not. So I said, well, I'm not going to be moving. And by the way, this also, building a house takes a really long time.
It does. It does.
But in that I renovated the home and made this big windfall, which was magic. And I don't expect it to be magical in the future. The worst thing that could happen is I built a house and I needed to sell the house, and then I would sell the house. So the house is going to be worth a lot more than I put into it. And so be it.
I think that in a weird way, almost the fact that you're willing to do the work, because the improving, starting from scratch, is absolutely, the way that you tend to extract more value. I know that, right? And I was just having a conversation about this and with somebody who's like, his parents were people who were able to buy, do gut renovations, flip, move. And he's like, I can't do that. You have to know yourself. Yeah. And if you can do it, okay. And as long as we have a plan B, and if the plan B is, okay, Jill, I'll end up with an $700,000 or $800,000 house. Worst case scenario, I sell it. I pay off whatever mortgage there is. I got $500,000 proceeds. I move back to Brooklyn, where, by the way, the food is obviously better than wherever you are. And then you go from there. And I'm okay with this. Now, because you have separate lives, though, do you have estate documents for the two of you?
No.
Oh my God, Mark.
I know.
Come on. Did you hear the pause? He's like, oh, God damn it. I almost got off this conversation without her asking about it. Didn't you think you were almost free?
We do have documentation for, death benefits and all that tied to our assets, our investments and things like that. That's all recorded.
Yeah. You need a will, you need a power of attorney, and you need
I don't have a will to my house, but it's also because it's about to not be mine anymore.
Yeah. But then, what you're going to have is you're going to have to put this down on paper. Okay. I know that it's a pain in the neck. I don't want to. There is no way out of this. You cannot convince me otherwise. It's Jill on Money. We'll be right back.
Do I invest here? Should I put my money there? Jill Schlesinger can help you. Back to Jill on Money.
Welcome back. It's the Jill on Money Show. We are trying to answer your financial questions. If you have one, just go to our website, JillOnMoney.com. When you're there, you'll see all this great content, including our free weekly newsletter. Just click on that link and we'll sign you up. You'll get it every Friday, as well as our blog. In the upper right-hand corner, if you have a question, just hit that Contact Us button. Complete the form, tell us if you want to join us on the air live, and Mark will do everything else. Right now, let's talk to Mike, who joins us from New Jersey. So, hello, Mike. Welcome to the program.
Hello, Jill and Mark. How are you guys?
We're great. What's going on?
Just looking at some retirement timing, longevity. Have a nice fixed income for both my wife and I. Just wanted to see if everything's on track so I could finally let it go and live life to the fullest.
Live your dream, baby. Live your dream.
Yes,
I feel like there's a pension benefit coming because you said income. So let's start with Mike. How old are you?
I am 54.
And your wife?
51.
Kids or no kids?
2 wonderful, beautiful children.
What? Yes. And how old are they?
21 and 19.
Okay. And they're still on the payroll?
Oh, yes, very much so.
Are they in college or are they working?
Yes, both are in college. One is a senior graduating in May, and the other is a freshman.
Are you and your wife both working right now?
I am still currently employed full-time. The wife has retired.
Does she receive a pension?
Yes, she does.
What is that amount?
Monthly or annual?
Whatever is easy for you.
Monthly, it's about $7,000 gross.
Okay, great. And you intend to retire, and when you retire, what will your pension benefit be?
My pension should be around $14,500.
Gross.
Gross a month, yes.
How are you guys set to live on $21,500 gross? How you think you can do it?
I think so. I mean, the monthly budget is under that amount.
How much is what do you have for your expenses right now? Again, and be generous because obviously you're young, you're going to live long. So I bet that, the money that you spend, probably between age 55 and 75 is going to be more than 75 to 95, right? So be generous with those expenses.
Yeah. So soup to nuts, Joe, you're looking at between 13 to 15 a month.
So 15 a month. So even at 21, if we said 21.5 a month and you pay taxes on it, you whittle it down to 15 a month. Okay, great. And what about the money you guys have saved beyond being part of a pension system? Tell us about that.
Yes. So the joint account is at $1.7 million.
This is when Mark says goodbye because we're about to get a lot of hate mail. Okay, keep going. Joint is at 1.7.
1.7 rollover IRA is at $585.
Okay.
There is a 6-year annuity that's at $565,000.
Has it been annuitized yet or not?
No, I'm looking forward to that. It's another 2 years, which a previous financial advisor, I'm not happy about that, but
okay. All right.
Yeah.
Whatever. We'll get it out of there.
Yeah, it locked me into something I really wasn't interested in, but
yeah. I hear you, man. No one ever buys an annuity. Annuities are sold. So no. I get you. Okay, $565 in that annuity. What else?
New York deferred compensation.
Yep.
That's at 1.575.
Oh, my God, Mark.
Lucky kids.
I know. All right.
Yes.
Then what else do we have? Is there any other retirement assets?
Yes. No, not retirement assets. No.
What else? So what other assets?
Checking and savings combination of around 90 to 95,000. You want Social Security numbers or?
No, because you have so much money. I don't even know what to do with it all. How about your house? How much is your house worth?
The house is ranging between 1.2 to 1.3.
And you're going to stay there?
Unfortunately, for the time being, yes.
Why unfortunately? Because you want to move south?
Property taxes are not the greatest. Very high.
Oh, whatever. Stop complaining.
Yeah, I know.
Live off the fat of the land. Do you have a mortgage outstanding on your house? I'm guessing no.
Actually, it's a small 179.
And no rental property, right?
No.
Okay. And so when you said that $15,000 a month for expenses, did that include the kids in college and all that?
Yes and no. Basically cash flowing that.
Okay. And what about parents? You're young. What about you and your wife? You have parents that are alive that you have to take care of?
just my father-in-law, and that is okay at this time.
Okay. Giving your druthers, kids are all done. Let's like pretend, you give your notice, you're hanging out, you're home, whatever. But giving your druthers, if these kids, they graduate, they get out there, you would like to move? Is this like a real thing? You want to maybe sell this house?
A possibility of downsizing, likelihood, yes.
Okay. And downsizing in New Jersey or somewhere warm?
Contemplating either somewhere warm or possibly Pennsylvania, much more tax friendlier.
Very bad estate tax, though. Okay. Mark, what do you want to say to Jersey Mike?
Give your notice.
I mean, really, can you first of all, can you help prevent us getting horrible hate mail for this conversation? Mm-hmm. Can you tell people like that you didn't probably make tons and tons of money? Did you start early? How did you accumulate all of this money?
Parents immigrated, and I've been working since I'm 20 years old, and I was very, frugal and saved, and I did some, moves on my own with my wife with investments, and here we are. I'm really blessed, Jill, and it's really, I'm financially free, and I'm proud of what I'm starting, especially for my kids, pass down the legacy for them.
Yeah, it's really incredible. We'll get back to Mike in just a minute. Now, if you've got something going on in your financial life, don't hesitate. Get in touch with us. Go to JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, write us a note, and check the box if you want to join us live. And if you're shy and you don't think you'll be coming on the air, that's okay. Just give us a lot of details so that we can answer your question with as much information as possible. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger takes the mystery out of your finances.
Welcome back. It's the Jill on Money Show, and we are trying to help you navigate your financial journey. Now, both Mark and I are certified financial planners. We don't work for a financial planning firm. We're in media. We're talking heads. We talk to you. And the reason you should care about that designation certified financial planner is not because we're trying to sell you anything. It's because we take a different approach to your financial questions, a holistic approach. That's why when you join us on the air, we ask you all sorts of nosy questions. We want to get underneath the question that you think is the most important thing and also figure out what else is going on, how the whole picture shapes up for you. So if you're wrestling with a big decision, maybe you want to buy a house, maybe you want to sell a house, maybe you're thinking about retirement, or maybe you really need to reset your career. You want to go in a different direction, but you don't want to blow up your finances along the way. Whatever it is that's going on, get in touch with us. Go to our website, JillOnMoney.com. Click the Contact Us button, write us a note. And if you're shy and you don't think you'll be coming on the air, that's okay. Just give us a lot of details so that we can answer your question with as much information as possible. Especially, by the way, you seem to always leave off the expenses, like what you're spending on a monthly or annual basis. That's a big, important part of almost every financial question. So don't forget that part. Okay, right now, let us get back to Mike from New Jersey. Obviously, you guys both have pensions, so you worked hard doing whatever you did. But as everyone is listening to this, whenever we talk to people with pensions, I wonder if you understand, gang, if you don't have a pension, that usually that means you've made less money during your working years. That part of the trade-off of being in a job that actually creates a pension possibility, so you have a lower income. So I'm sure that if Mike and his wife were looking at themselves and they were 30 years old in these pension jobs, friends of theirs were making more money because they were in the private sector, but that more money didn't come with a pension. So there's always a trade-off here. And I think that that's an important thing to say. The other thing that I want to point out, which is, you are going to get slammed with required minimum distributions. You know that, right?
Yes.
So my question about the annuity, was the annuity a non-qualified annuity or a qualified? Meaning, does it say IRA on the top of it, or is it just money you put in from those joint assets?
Yeah, it's a non-qualified.
Okay, so it's non-qualified. And so is the game plan when 2 years is up to annuitize it or to just pay the whatever taxes due and add the money to your joint account?
I think I will separate myself from it and just add it to the joint account. Yes.
Okay. So then I think there might be an interesting opportunity. You know what happens with these annuities, which is one of the reasons I hate annuities, is that it's not a capital gain. The money that goes in there that has earned money beyond what you put in. So I'll make it easy. Let's say you put 400 in or 450 in 6 years ago. Whatever the difference is between what you put in and what you take out is ordinary income. Okay? So that's taxable to you. When that transaction is done, it may be interesting for you to start converting some of your money. You have a ton of money that is already been taxed. So the 585 and the $1.5 million deferred comp, those $2 million pot is going to create a tax liability for you. So
Yes.
the question is, how are you going to manage that tax liability? You'll have a lot of income. That's the thing that kind of is challenging. I mean, it's great, but it's challenging when it comes to conversion. So when I look at your, married filing jointly, the 24% bracket goes up to 400 grand. So maybe you start converting little by little, converting some money up to to stay in the 24% bracket. And then, you'll see how things go. Obviously, you are people who should not claim Social Security early, 70, as long as you're in good health, because you'll have more time to convert. But that $2 million is going to be a real number when you guys turn 75. So I think converting would make a lot of sense for you.
Yeah,
I mean, it's it's a curse. It's a curse and it's a blessing, right?
Right. Yeah, well, I'm very ultra aggressive with my investments because of the fact of the fixed income that I have monthly with my wife and I. So,
all right, well, don't go too crazy. You don't need to go crazy.
I'm not a bond guy.
Okay, well, you don't have to be a bond guy, but you know what? When the blank hits the fan and you're in your later 50s and you want a little downside protection, it's okay. It's not like a necessary thing. It's in a funny way. You are obviously investing for the kids, right? Because you're not going to use all this money. So if you said to me, "Oh, I'm investing very aggressively because I'm 55," it's not that. You're investing very aggressively because you have 20 somethings who you're investing for. That's what I think is the difference.
Sure.
But you don't have to take as much risk. It's fine. And, enjoy yourself, give your notice.
What are you going to do?
And what are you going to do? You're so young.
Oh, my God. So much to see, so much to do, though. Jill, we've been so engulfed in work because, in the public sector, it's called the golden handcuffs. You hear and you have emergencies, you have weather-related stuff, you have all kinds of craziness.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, you've earned it. So I want you to have a great time. Make sure those estate documents are done. Think about conversions and let us know when you give your notice and when you're bored and you want to come back to us and talk about, I'm not really bored. Let me just tell you how great it is. So I invite you back anytime. All right.
Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it.
If you've got a financial question, all you need to do is go to our website, JillOnMoney.com. Click the Contact Us button, write us a note, give us lots of detail, and let us know if you'd like to join us on the air live. You're listening to The Jill on Money Show. Welcome back. It's the Jill on Money Show, where we are answering your financial questions. And some of those questions are very deep and intense questions of where you want to go next in your life. And others are just informational. Whatever it is, get in touch with us. Go to our website, JillOnMoney.com. Click the Contact Us button and write us a note. And by the way, while you're on the website, there's all this content that lives there. I've mentioned the free weekly newsletter because it comes out every Friday. It's such a good way to prepare for this show. That will also entitle you to receive our blog. We also have a subscription service. So if you want to add to your subscriptions, I know you probably have a lot of them, but this one may actually help you save or make some money, or at least educate you. It's Jill on Money Live. For $45, you will have access to 4 live webinars over the next 12 months. You will be able to view the back catalog of our webinars, including the most recent one last week with Ed Slott. And that webinar is especially timely because we're really going over the new changes to the tax code. And you'll also be able to get some bonus audio and video content. We just recorded a great interview with the Consumer Reports automotive writer, Mike Quincy. All of that is available through Jill on Money Live, $45 for the next 12 months. Right now, here is an email. I don't have a name of this person who writes, I'm a B of A Bank of America customer, and I'm doing my monthly bill paying today. I went to check my FICO score in the credit card section, and I scored quote unquote exceptional. The simple credit score has suddenly been replaced by B of A's new quote, my credit. Scrolling through the fine print, I have trust issues, especially around my privacy, sharing with bank affiliates, and many details on what they are not responsible for. So, any idea if B of A's my report is a good thing or a danger, Will Robinson? Well, I had to look this one up, my friend, but basically, I don't actually think there's danger here. But what this has basically done is Bank of America has changed from providing a TransUnion FICO score to an Experian FICO score. And I think it's fine to check your credit, but don't go crazy with this either. You're listening to the Jill on Money Show. We've got more ahead. We'll be right back.
It's the weekend, and that can only mean one thing. You're listening to Jill on Money, the show that takes the mystery out of your finances. Here's your host, Jill Schlesinger.
Welcome back. It's the Jill on Money Show. Let's get started with Jennifer from D.C. Hi, Jennifer. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Great. What's up?
Well, my question that I wrote in about is whether or not this plan I have for quitting my job to become an artist is ridiculous or not. And I just have a lot of anxiety about money and doing something that is not practical on the surface.
Well, but wait a minute. Just because it's not practical on the surface doesn't mean you can't do it. Let's kind of figure it out. So I like the idea of the creator class saying, I want to create. This is a good thing. This is good for society. So let's figure out whether or not you can do this, Jennifer. So first, let's start with the easy stuff. How old are you?
45.
Are you single, married, partnered?
Single.
And you have kids?
No.
This makes the planning a little bit easier.
Yes.
Got to be honest with you. I mean, okay. And right now you're fully employed?
So I work part-time. So I have what used to be a full-time job. I got them to give me 3 days a week. So I work 3 days a week.
And at 3 days a week, how much are you earning?
About 94,000.
Okay. And does that 94 cover your needs? Does that kind of give you the basics covered? Is it more than you need?
It could. I calculated that with the lifestyle that I want, I want an additional 30, which I am able to supply that through my writing. So I could live off of that, of course, but I choose not
So
to.
right now, so part-time, you've got 94. And then for your artistic endeavor, how much are you bringing in right now?
That's part of the problem, is that it varies dramatically. The lowest it was 69,000 and the highest it was 311.
Whoa.
It was
Wow,
big
what a
difference.
variance. Okay.
Yeah.
But let's even make it narrower. If we said right now where you're working 3 days a week, you got 94 grand, but then it's, I don't know. Let's make it more like 70 to 150. Is that fair? Is that more of like a range that seems very
Yeah.
doable? Okay. You're able to do that even while you are working 3 days a week.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And so the need you have in general is somewhere around 120 or let's say $10,000 a month. Is that what you think you need to live on for real?
I actually looked at my budgeting app. I spend $7,000 a month.
Okay,
And that's the
not bad.
average, including like vacations and like
That's great.
savings and stuff.
Amazing.
So,
That's great. That's great. Okay. So 7 grand a month. Okay. So now let's talk about the money that you have saved already in order to try to make this transition 5 days to 3 days to maybe 0 days. What have you saved already in, let's start with retirement assets.
so for retirement, I have 561 in an investment account.
You mean when you say an investment account, do you mean that's a brokerage account and it's not?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a brokerage account, but not an IRA, not a
No.
401k. Okay.
No.
So 561 is just a plain old brokerage account, taxable.
Yes.
Got it.
And
Next.
then I have 383 in my TSP.
Okay.
I have 120 in a regular IRA.
Regular. And the TSP is not a Roth. It's also a traditional.
Well, so my contributions into it are Roth, but
Mhm.
matching is actually not in Roth.
Okay. So of the 383, what portion is Roth, would you figure? What, like
Oh,
30% or smaller percent?
Maybe like 50%.
Oh, okay. That's great. Okay, good. Okay, so I'm back with you. So 561 brokerage, 383 TSP split between Roth and traditional, a traditional IRA of a 120. What else?
And then I have my separate brokerage account. That's my quit my job fund, and that's 157.
Is that in cash or is that in investments?
Stocks, yeah.
Okay, is that it for the investment side? Do you have some other money in checking, savings, CDs, anything like that?
I have 30,000 in a high yield savings account.
Great. You mentioned a thrift savings plan. Are you entitled to a pension?
Yes,
Ooh.
I can collect that when I am 60.
Mm-hmm.
If I, I'll have 20 years. So when I'm 60, that is 4,200 a month. If I quit my job, I would not get the health insurance for life, though.
Okay, but if you quit, in other words, if you quit your job tomorrow and waited till you're age 60, then you would receive $4,200 a month, but not health care for life, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a great benefit. What about your house? Do you own it? Do you rent? What's going on?
Yes, I own. I have a mortgage of about 230, and the house is worth about 793.
About 793. You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say 800. I don't care. I can round up. What's the mortgage interest rate on the 230?
6.75.
Oh, you bought this recently?
Yeah, I just couldn't. I had a great mortgage rate, but it was 600 square feet, and I just had to leave.
Okay. But even with that 6.75% mortgage, you are still looking at a $7,000 a month need, right? That includes the mortgage.
Yeah, it includes everything.
That's great. I mean, that's why I wouldn't go crazy. I know you wish you had the lower, but do you like your space? Is this a space where you could? Okay,
great. It was a great decision. Yeah.
Okay. See, I'm glad that you say that. Is everybody listening? You can give up a low mortgage interest rate. You ran all the numbers and you can afford it. So that's good. Are there any other assets that you own that we should know about?
No, not that I currently own.
Okay. Do you have parents that are still alive?
Both my parents are alive and, to be honest, not in great health.
And what about financial health?
They're in really good shape financially, actually.
Okay. I'm really, I kind of tease this out more to find out whether you need to help them,
No.
And you have siblings?
Yeah, I have 2.
I mean, I don't know how old they are, but if they're not in great health, is that something that we could look in the future and say there's probably going to be some inheritance down the line? We don't know what it is because we don't know how much money they're going to really need to, maintain their care, especially if their health isn't good. But do you anticipate some inheritance?
Yeah, I mean, that's been their long-term plan. I also manage their finances, so I am
Okay.
kind of, I want to make sure that they get all of their medical needs covered and stuff and not think about the inheritance stuff. But I am aware of that, like
Okay.
floating around.
Okay. All right. Well, that's at least you know that. Now, Jennifer, tell me about working this schedule right now. Let's forget about the pipe dream for a minute. How is it for you? Are you feeling like, oh my God, I'm really am doing like 1.5 full-time jobs and then 3 days? Like, how are you
No,
managing this?
I think a 3-day work week is incredible. And for anyone listening, if your employer will let you do it, do it. I mean, I can live off $94,000. It's fine. The
Mm-hmm.
reason why I'm having the itch is that I think I've done my fill of civil service.
Mm.
And I kind of like the job has lost its heart for me. So I was intending to do this job until I retired. And I'm like, I don't know about that now. And maybe if I wrote full time, I could kind of see how far I could take this other career.
Mm-hmm.
But the balance between the two I could do. It's not the balance, it's the like actual job itself.
You're listening to the Jill on Money Show. We'll be right back.
Back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger helps you take the mystery out of your finances.
Welcome back. It's the Jill on Money Show. If you've got a financial question, all you need to do is go to our website, jillonmoney.com, and click the Contact Us button. Right now, let's get back to Jennifer from D.C. So if you were to do this, let's say that you gave your notice. I don't know. You're going to probably you sound like a good employee. So when would you want to give your notice? Like the end of this year? How would you want to handle it?
Well, I guess my thought is that I couldn't ever give notice until I had enough money in my bank account that I didn't
Mm-hmm.
feel scared. And I arbitrarily decided that that number would be $1 million. And I don't
Oh,
know if that makes sense.
Which account? You have $1 million
yeah. You
now.
have $1 million right now.
Oh,
But let's
$1 million in the quitting my job fund,
Oh,
where I
you
only
mean the
have,
157? What about the
yeah.
what about the $500,000 in the brokerage? You
I
don't count
thought
that?
I consider that my retirement money, or
But
like I bought a house money, like I used some of it for that. But
okay.
I mean, I could be being very arbitrary, and maybe that doesn't make sense.
Okay, let's think about this. I mean, by the way, if you went from 3 days, could you go to 2 days?
No, I don't think
No,
that.
this
I
is
don't think
it.
I
This
could
is the
swing
end
it.
of the line. I
Yeah.
just wanted to make sure.
Mhm.
Okay. So part of the planning of the Quit My Job Fund is making sure that you'll be able to actually eventually retire. So if we look at your pension, that's a huge benefit for you, right? You've put your 20 years in, and that is helping build the case for writing full time. It really is. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, I look at the Quit My Job Fund at 157,000. What I would think is, if you want to ramp up and you want to start to see what happens if I write full time, you would probably want to have a couple of years set aside in terms of, I would want, I don't know, 2 years of expenses set aside. So you're $7,000 a month, right? We have that. That's what you told me you need.
Mhm.
And we'd say, okay, well, what would that mean for 24 months? It would be, 160. Maybe you say, wait a minute. No, Jill, I want to have 3 years set aside of expenses, 3 years to really give it a go. And so if you have your 36 months, right, times your $7,000 a month, that would be 250 grand. So I need $250,000 in the Quit My Job Fund, right?
Mhm.
Okay. In some respects, I agree with Mark that you kind of already have it. You could sort of take some of the money that's in that brokerage account, throw it into the Quit My Job Fund, and not worry about it. But if having more than 3 years to figure out whether or not you can make it or not, all that means is you say, I'm giving myself 3 years to make sure I can support myself. If I can't, I'm going to have to go get a job and make $100,000 a year doing something.
Mm-hmm.
And you may not be able to go back into the civil service, but you may be, do you have a kind of job where you could go get a job in, presuming that, you've got certain skills?
I have a good skill set. I will say for people I know, it's been really rough with
Yeah.
all the federal workers who have been fired.
Yeah.
I could get a job, but part of my resistance is, they're going to want me to work 40 hours a week, of
Yeah,
course,
they are.
or more.
Yeah.
And
you're
that's
going to have
kind
to,
of
but that's the risk, right?
Yeah.
Here's the risk that you take. The risk is I have sort of a soulless job right now, but if you want to really try this, it's not, I think that if you're waiting till you have $1 million in this account, you're going to be working in this job for a long time. It's, I don't know how much you're saving, but I think that out of your 94, if how much you contributing to retirement right now in the 94?
$373 per pay period, and there's 26 pay periods, so that's $10,000.
Okay.
But then I also send $400 to my investment account a month, and then I randomly, whenever I have extra money, I put that in my Quit My Job fund.
Okay.
So I do save quite
You're
a
saving
bit.
like $20,000 a year, basically.
Yeah, I guess. And then
Sounds like it.
I guess I'm pretty good at investing, so it's been
whatever. Don't pat yourself on the back, lady. Let's get this down. It's a bull market. So yes, you're good at investing and it's a great bull market. But Jennifer, here's the thing. I think you can do this, but I think you have to really weigh the risk. And I can't make this determination. Mark, do you agree with me that if she took a 3-year period of time, and so let's say during those 3 years, there's no retirement contribution, there's no saving. Let's just pretend, stay with me here for a second, Jennifer. There's no saving. There's nothing. You just got what you got. Okay. And then we make sure that you have, $250,000 in your Quit My Job fund. And you look at this as a 3-year experiment. You give yourself 3 years. Can I really make this happen? And if you can, then great. You don't look back. But if you can't, then you are taking the risk that you have to go back into the labor market at a good or a not so good time. And you say, I got to go back to working. Otherwise, you keep working in your soulless job 3 days a week. You can build your Quit My Job fund up over time. Maybe wait till you're 50 and see where you stand. But then you're not really, you're still stuck on this job. Now, Mark, do you agree with that analysis that if we have a time horizon where this could be a limited experiment, or do you think she can just do it?
I actually do think she can do it because she's kind of doing it already. She's on the low end. She's making 60,000. She's made as much as 300,000. Is there any way? I get that you're nervous about doing this, about just kind of going all in. Is there any way you can ramp up the passion project while maintaining those 3 days a week for, another 2 years and see how it really, really goes?
Let's do it let's say it's under 2 years, that you do it this year and then you do one more year and then you see what the ramp up looks like. Can you do that or not?
Yeah, that was one of my intents for this year, is to try to write 2 books, one of which I'm already contracted to. The next, hopefully I would be getting a new contract and then a new source of funding.
Oh, I write a book every 5 years. This is great. You're doing 2 in 1 year. Thanks for making me feel bad about myself. All right, here's what I'm going to say. I think you can do this. I think that you should try it. Let's get this book done. Why don't we do this? Let's make a little pinky swear with each other. Why don't you get this year under your belt? Get this book done. Get back in touch with us. Let's see where you are. And then from there, let's see if you have the ability to say at the end of this year, you say, I'm done, and we move forward. And maybe you even have another contract by then. And then maybe you'll feel more confident with that contract in hand. Look, you now already have this sense, and everybody listening, you have something that's like an artistic endeavor, but you've already proven the thesis that you can make money doing this, Jennifer. So I want to encourage you to keep doing it because I think working for anybody is the pits, but that's me. And if you can get comfortable with that and you really can look at the assets you gathered during this period of time and you have the house and you have everything you want, I think you just need a little bit of runway to get there. And I don't think you need $1 million in the Quit My Job fund. I really don't. I think you would want to have 3 years of your expenses in the Quit My Job fund. So that's $250. And Maybe by the end of this year, you'll do that. Or maybe you siphon off some of the money that's in the brokerage account and just put it in the Quit My Job Fund. By the way, once you decide to do that, the Quit My Job Fund, 1 year of expenses has to be in cash, not invested.
Okay, that was one of my questions is how do people live off investment accounts? They just cash out
Well, you have to
yearly
cash
amount?
out you have to cash out a year in advance at least. At
Okay.
least. Like whatever you're going to need for the next year cannot be at risk.
Okay.
Full stop. Okay. And for you, maybe it's going to be more. Maybe you'll feel more comfortable if instead of having, maybe you'll say, I want 18 months in cash. You just don't want there to be any accidents. Because if the market craps out, let's pretend it's a year from now and it's 2027 and you're done. You've given your notice. The market craps out and you got 200 grand in that account that it quickly goes to 150. You're going to feel freaked out because it's a lot easier to manage losses when you don't need your money.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would say most people, I would say 1 year in cash. For you, maybe I would do 18 months.
Okay.
But I think it's exciting. I can't wait to find out who you really are and what your book is. I will not put this on the air because we don't want to expose Jennifer, but I'm excited. And I think you've done it the right way. This is how a side hustle becomes your main hustle. And it's exciting. Stay in touch and we'll figure it out. It really does seem like you're on your way. You're listening to the Jill on Money Show. We'll be right back.
Do I invest here? Should I put my money there? Jill Schlesinger can help you. Back to Jill on Money.
Welcome back. It's the Jill on Money Show where we are answering your financial questions. If you've got one, just go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. Right now, let's talk to Kate from Arizona.
Yes, I wanted to, kind of get a second opinion and a checkup on my husband and I's financial plan. We had recently met with a flat fee financial advisor that offers a discounted service through his employer. And the numbers they were coming up with kind of through this 30-minute back of the napkin math intro session gave us room for pause. It was drastically different than kind of the goalpost we've been aiming for. And so we just wanted to get your take to see if we are on track or if maybe our plan does need some adjustment.
Okay, well, let's do our own little, we're going to do even a quicker plan. Let's see what we can find out. Kate, how old are you?
39.
And your husband?
42.
Kids?
Nope.
No kids. Okay. You're both working full time?
Correct.
You can either do this together or you can do it separately, whatever's easier for you. How much do you guys earn?
Household is, we'll say conservatively, $275.
And you're both making retirement plan contributions?
Correct. Yeah, we both max out our Roth. I have a 401k. He has a 403b.
And both Roth versions?
Correct.
Okay, 401k and 403b. How much money have you guys accumulated in those retirement accounts so far?
So total in retirement, we have 511, and that is broken down to 385 in our employee plan, so 401k and 403b, and then 125 in our Roth IRAs.
Okay, great. And do you have other money besides that $500,000 or so in investments, like a brokerage account, maybe?
Sure. So we've got, we've just started a brokerage last year, so 25,000 in that.
Okay.
And then we do have 40,000 in an HSA.
So this is, sounds good so far. Is there anything out there that is going to throw me for a loop? Do you have any debt?
No debt other than the mortgage.
How much is the house worth?
Probably 500.
And what is the mortgage that remains?
We'll use round numbers, 200.
And what's the interest rate on the mortgage?
Don't hate me, Mark, 275.
Poor Mark. He has to endure such indignities every day. And this is a house you want to remain in. Like, this is the good house for you?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Okay,
Yep.
great. What about money that is in the bank? It's kind of boring old cash.
Yeah, we've got probably too much of it. It's my security blanket.
Okay.
So we have 220 in cash, and
That's a very warm blanket, lady.
Yes, it is. Well, we're in Arizona, so we like it hot.
Okay, I got you.
It's broken down. 60 is our true never touch emergency fund.
Mm-hmm.
We've got about another 60 in short-term funds, vacation stuff we plan to use within the next year.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have 100,000 in a no penalty CD.
Okay.
That's at 395. That's got another 8 months left. And that we just we're really good at saving. So
evidently,
it's just kind of excess funds. We kind of call it an opportunity fund. We're interested in maybe buying a small business or a rental property one day. So it's just kind of.
But you don't have anything like that right now. There's no rental property. There's
nothing.
Gotcha.
Nope, we're boring.
So then you're not boring. This is incredible. Do you guys have parents that you need to help out?
Nope.
Okay. So financially secure family members and siblings and all that, right?
Correct.
So what's the curveball you're going to throw me that made the flat fee advisor say you're on steroids here? Like what's going on?
Really, there's no curveball. So the number we've kind of been aiming for, again, with the plan of maxing out our employer plan and again, maxing out 2 IRAs a year.
Mm-hmm.
And then our plan is to do about $2,000 a month, so $24,000 a year into a brokerage. We were coming up with, we'd probably need about 5.5 for us to retire on the earlier side. So ideally,
what
20
early?
years. So 59 for me, 62 for him. So exactly 20 years from now.
Okay. So so let me just make sure I got this right, because I'm going to let Mark do some back of the envelope math.
Okay.
So 20 more years, Mark, they max out their 401k and the 403b. They also put $2,000 a month into the brokerage account. Okay. And no other extra money. Like we're not saying that cash of 220 is going to get bigger. You're going to use your excess cash flow into the brokerage. Is that about right?
Yep.
Okay. What is your spend right now? What do you reckon the expenses are?
Conservative month, $7,000. I guess I would probably say when we factor in vacation, stuff like that, 10 to 11,000 a month total.
Those are some vacations you're taking.
Yeah.
Let's say 10.
That's total, right? So,
all right.
So probably about 120 to 130 a year.
Okay. I'm going to use $10,000 a month as your expense. Okay. You mentioned a 403b, so I just want to double check. Are either of you entitled to a pension?
Yes. So that I guess would be the curveball. He is entitled to 2 pensions.
2?
One is a small one through his military service. Mm-hmm. That will start at 65.
And what will that be?
Guess using today's math, 2,500.
2,500 like for a year, not a month.
Sorry, a month.
So, okay, your small one is 2,500 a month at his age 65.
Correct.
Now, what's the second pension?
Second one, there's going to be some options. He works in healthcare, hence the 403b. Kind of the two, there's multiple plans, depends on years of service, age he collects it. There are lump sum options. So let's just go with what our plan is, which is $1 million at age 65, lump sum.
Okay. You don't happen to have the monthly amount?
I do. The monthly at 65 with spousal benefit would be $5,000 a month in today's dollars.
Okay. So $5,000 a month in today's dollars, $2,500 a month at 65, and you will both be entitled to Social Security, right?
We believe so, if it's still there.
Stop!
Well, it will be there in some way, but we're really trying.
Even if it's if it's 2/3 or 75% of that, then fine, whatever. You'll have money. I got to be honest with you. I don't get where you fall short. We'll get back to Kate in just a minute. It's Jill on Money.
Welcome back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger takes the mystery out of your finances.
Welcome back to Jill on Money. Let's get back to Kate from Arizona. Let me start by asking the flat fee advisor, where did they think the plan falls short? Forgetting about the $5.5 million, just where do they think you're falling short?
So what they had said, and I kind of, again, without doing the full analysis, they said we would need to kind of aim for a goal of 9 to 10 million to be able to retire early in 20 years.
That's like you're on crack. There's no way.
Yeah.
Guess what? With the pensions, you'll basically have that.
That's what I'm thinking. What they knew about the pension, right?
Correct. Yeah.
I don't get that. It sounds like they didn't. It sounds like they forgot to actually include that. Forgetting about like what the actual number is, you are on track. Okay, you are on track to reach your retirement goals. There's 20 long years between now and then. I don't think that you're going to have any problem because I think you're probably undercounting how much you can really save. Mm-hmm. At this point, you're saving more than maxing out your 2 retirement plans and your Roths and the $2,000 a month because you accumulated all this cash. You've already said we are good savers. So my opinion, and again, back of the envelope, I think that there's something strange in their analysis. I think that you can double check, triple check this along the way. Like once a year, you can run through a quick retirement calculator and look at the numbers. I don't see how you don't make it based on what you've told us. You're saving a ton of money. You already have, let me see, 5. So even if I just take the cash out, you have $500,000 that you've saved and in investments already. We never have to add another dime to the cash. Let's just pretend that sits aside on the balance sheet. You never do it. You're going to put all this money into the brokerage account. You're going to keep saving what sounds to me like, $50,000 a year is what you're probably saving, if not more. And this is going to accumulate over the next 20 years. So I don't see where you blow it. And I certainly think that having the pension options, and again, as you get older, you're going to have more information. Thank goodness you don't. I mean, as long as you're happy and healthy right now, you'll be able to make the analysis, sort of look at where you stand. Maybe by the time you're, like you said, 20 years from now, you'll be able to look at these pensions. 15 years, you'll be able to look in the future and see what is accumulated, what you have. Did I mess up on the expenses? Am I spending a lot more than I think? I tell you what, I wouldn't be so invested in thinking of like that $100,000 in CDs as your opportunity fund. I think it's really just it's your anti-anxiety. It's like, I don't have to take Klonopin at night because I have $100,000 in CDs. Yeah. I don't think that you're the type of I don't think you should be looking for rental property. I think what you're doing is great. I really don't. If something fell in your lap, maybe get in touch with us. But I just don't see the down where you are. I mean, like the mortgage is cheap. You live well below your means. You're saving a ton of money. Mark, what am I missing?
You're not missing anything. I don't see where the cause for alarm came from with the other people. I mean, I just run the numbers, just using round numbers, $70,000 a year for the next 20 years. Obviously, a lot can change between now and then. You guys are probably saving more than that. Yeah, that in 20 years, that's going to get you conservatively $5 million.
And that's
plus
just
pensions.
Right. That's what I don't quite get. So you get the $5 million. Maybe they're increasing your expenses by a higher inflation rate than we're even thinking about. Maybe. I don't get it. Anyway, I wouldn't worry about it. How about that? Isn't my answer better?
It's a lot. Yeah, my husband will be happy because he'd like to spend a little more now and off on the savings.
Yeah, I think.
Don't kill yourselves.
I wouldn't kill yourself. Absolutely. And I really, really would not be. First of all, like a problem in 20 years is like, I don't think it's like, oh, I have half as much money as I need, which is what they're saying. It just does not make any sense to me. It's like, I feel like they're doing one of two things. One is that maybe they're growing your money at a lower rate. And maybe they're growing your expenses and the inflation rate at a higher rate. And maybe that's the combination that gets you, halfway there. I don't buy it, though. Yeah. There's no way. You guys are great savers. Your money's going to keep making money. You're not going and buying, you're not starting to worry about a college education. It doesn't make any sense to me. So I'll tell you what, let's not worry about this right now. You can come back and get in touch with us. We can run these numbers every year with you.
Okay.
It's really not a problem, but I really, I would not I would not worry about this. I think that it really would be interesting if you happen to have did they give you a printout of their analysis?
They did not. So that's kind of again, kind of coming in with the numbers we felt confident with. It was a complete kind of shock to us. And I think their whole point was you're retiring early. And so you need a lot.
What do you mean early? 59 and 62, you have no kids. You don't even spend any money.
Yeah. So that was kind of, like I said, our thought is, again, using online calculators, listening to your show, we felt we had a reasonable kind of goalpost to aim for. And again, saving about $88,000 based on 2026 numbers, right? With maxing out, they wanted us to save like 120 to 130 a year, and then convert on top of that everything to traditional for additional tax savings.
What do you mean to Roth? You mean?
No, they wanted us to stop the Roth and go traditional.
What?
In order to increase, to lower the tax liability.
So in 20 years you'll have $5 million of pre-tax money.
Exactly.
Duh.
I don't know what to say about that.
Trust your gut.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's one we haven't heard. And also, by the way, you're going to keep putting money away, and your money that you're going to contribute is going to grow as your salaries grow. Mm-hmm. So that's what we're not accounting for. And by the way, I also think that, you're going to have more money because the mortgage is going to be paid off. And I don't know, this just does not make sense to me. Keep doing what you're doing. Get back in touch with us if you have any questions. Tell your husband he can relax. He doesn't have to work till he's 65. It's going to be okay. It's the Jill on Money Show. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Jill on Money Show. Hey, before we finish up the show, just want to remind you of a few things. All of our content lives on our website. That's JillOnMoney.com. So when you go there, you might as well just bookmark the page. That way, whenever a financial question pops up, you'll have the page ready for you. And you can just go to the upper right-hand corner, click the Contact Us button, write us a note, and if you'd like to join us live, which I really encourage you to do, all you need to do is check the box, then Mark will get you set up. While you're on the website, don't forget to sign up for the free weekly newsletter and check out all the other content that lives there, including 2 other programs that I host. One is called Jill on Money. That's a podcast Monday through Friday. And the other is called Money Watch, which we air on the weekend. So if you can't get enough of us here, go there and check that out. Okay, here is an email from Frank who writes, I'm 73 years old, I'm in good health, retired, and I'm looking to buy a small house or a townhouse for around $300,000. I have $300,000 in investments. How convenient, exactly the right amount of money, right? He continues to write, I've got $5,500 in monthly income through Social Security and a pension. I've got an excellent credit. But my question is, would it be better to put down 20%, $60,000 or so, to avoid PMI, or should I put down less, maybe as little as 4%, and hold on to my savings? Frank, you've got great instincts because preserving your nest egg is really important, but we are missing some information. We don't know what your total expenses are. So in general, what I would say is you would put down at least 10% and maybe 20%, presuming that your cash flow can absorb it, and then we can preserve as much as possible in the investment account. I hope that helps you out, Frank, and if you need a follow-up, no problem, get back in touch with us. Well, that's it. This show just blew by. I don't know for you, but definitely for me and Mark. We just want to thank you so much for tuning in. If you've missed any part of the show, go to JillOnMoney.com and click the radio tab. And don't forget, all of our content does live on that website. Our music is composed by Joel Goodman. Mark Talercio is our executive producer. He's also the king of everything web at JillOnMoney.com. We always ask that you do something nice for someone else today. It'll make them feel better. It will make you feel better. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next week.